Sure. So unfortunately, we have some upsetting news as we have lost a citizen out of the city of Shreveport due to a house fire. This morning at 7:05, we were dispatched to the 5200 block of Norton. Our first unit arrived on scene within 4 minutes and immediately began to extinguish the fire and also do search and recovery with subsequent crews coming in after them. There was a neighbor that was outside that did tell us that there should be a female inside the home. Of course, that ramped up our rescue efforts with more crews looking for that person. That person was found within about 10 minutes after we arrived on scene and was transported to a local hospital where she expired. Also in the home, according to neighbors, there were 4 dogs. We've only located one of those dogs that was deceased when we located them. We expect that the other ones possibly ran off. Limited on family. So we're trying to make notifications and get a little bit more information on the victim. As customary, State Fire Marshal's Office has been notified anytime there's a fire death. However, Shreveport Fire Department investigators are the ones that are working this case. It will require more than one of them. Anytime we have a fire death, we do put a couple more eyes on that case. So right now we're trying to determine where that fire, what caused the fire. We do know that it looks like the fire started on the in the front of the home. It appeared that the female was trying to make it out of the home. She was found near a back door, and those injuries would have been those that relate to fire, such as burns and also smoke inhalation. Very unfortunate for the crews that had to respond, very unfortunate for the families, but anytime we have a fire death, this is the first fire death in Shreveport this year. We did expect an increase in fires, which we did respond to about 3 working fires last night and this morning. But we encourage our citizens to continue to be safe. Watch out for your neighbors. This citizen did have a smoke detector that was in the home. It is undetermined whether or not that smoke detector was operational or not. But anytime we at least see a smoke detector in there, it gives us some peace knowing that there was early notification to get out. Fire plans and smoke alarms save lives. Any questions?
Did this lady appear to be elderly, or?
Yeah, the age of this individual is anywhere between roughly looks about 60 years old. Is what we're estimating. She was, when we took her to the hospital, unresponsive and in critical condition, so unable to get that information at the time of this press release. Last fire death we did have, by the way, and is credited to a lot of fire prevention, was in August 30th of last year.
And that was Polly. And just tell us, we're seeing a pattern here where our elderly citizens, sadly, like, they're succumbing to house fires. And with Polly's situation, the smoke detectors weren't working. So should we tell our senior citizens, hey, make sure these are up to date?
Right, of course, we want to make sure that our smoke detectors are up to date. We want to make sure if they contain batteries, we want to make sure that we're still testing those twice a year. Right now, the Shreveport Fire Department puts in smoke detectors for free. We provide them, and they're put in for free by simply calling our fire prevention office at 318-673-6740. Again, 318-673-6740. There is a waiting list, so if we are not able to get to you in a timely fashion, as you would probably describe it, please contact a family member. We expect a lot of the kids, grandkids, check your parents' homes, check your grandparents' homes. It's going to require all of us for safety. These alarms that we're putting in right now are 10-year battery or maintenance free. Also, there was a law passed last year. If you're renting a home or if you're purchasing a home, it is the responsibility of the person that is renting, the person that's renting that home or the person that is selling that home to have a smoke detector in that home, as well as a carbon monoxide detector. So if you're renting, if you're purchasing a home, make sure that it's on the list before you move in.
In total, go ahead.
No.
In total, how many people died last year? Maybe a rough estimate from house fires?
I think it was 2 last year. I will double check those numbers, but I'm almost positive it was 2 last year is what we reported in our annual statistics.
I know it's very early in the investigation, but you said it appears that it was the fire initiated in the front of the house. Is there like space heaters, and would you like to talk about safety of space heaters?
Sure. So as of right now, we do know there was a window unit right there in the front of the home. Unsure on what was underneath it, what setting that it was on. We do have investigators again still going through a lot of the contents of that home. But we encourage space heaters need to be plugged directly into a wall or into an extension cord that has a rating that can handle the load of a space heater. It needs to be at least 3 feet away from anything that is combustible. So those curtains, those blinds, couches, all of those need to be they need to be free of those areas. Same thing for candles. Not saying there were candles involved this morning, but those candles need to be put out before you go to bed. Those space heaters, same thing. Make sure they have a trip protection on them. In the event that they are tipped over, there are safety features on them that cut them off immediately. But again, smoke detectors are going to be our key here in making sure that you can get out of a home as quickly as possible. The more smoke detectors, the better off.
We're in very cold weather right now. Fortunately, it warms up during the day, but we got winter weather coming. Is there any preps that the fire department's doing for that? Kind of getting off of while we're here.
Right, absolutely. As far as on the fire department side, we're especially if we receive ice, we're in a meeting right now where we're talking about snow chains, our response times. Citizens need to expect a longer response time. If you were to call 911, we have to be safe. If we can't get to a scene, we're no help to you at all. So we do have to reduce our speeds. We will start titrating, but we'll still start triaging the calls that we will be making. Simple calls that do not require lights and siren. You may not get a fire truck at that moment. So we start evaluating that as the calls actually come in.